everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about myth busting in the fragrance arena, and today's topic of discussion is niche equals quality. Discuss. So put a comment down now before I start yabbering on. Do a little comment and tell me whether you agree that niche equals quality, or do you think that there is maybe some misconception around that. Let me know what you think. I have Sweetie with me. She's just sat here. There she is, purring away behind me. And I wanted to talk about this in particular because some people will say it's niche quality when they're describing a fragrance, and I have almost certainly been guilty of saying that myself in the past. It's niche quality, it smells so good it could be niche. And actually, looking back, what did I mean by that? And I think what I probably meant by that was it smells unique. It smells good to me, in my opinion, and it smells unique enough not to be something that I would expect to find amongst the mass-produced stuff on the shelves. But actually, I'm now more conscious of saying that because, in my humble opinion, niche does not mean quality. Because there are so many brands out there now, so many niche brands out there that are charging fortunes for their bottles, and I smell so many things, absolutely so many things. And am I blown away by niche fragrances as a rule? No. I smell a lot of niche. How often am I blown away by something? How often do I feel like I need to buy a bottle? Do I feel like I need to wear that fragrance? I wish I had a bottle so I can wear that fragrance often. One in several hundred things I test, I would imagine. I'm not one of those people that keep spreadsheets. I can't give you the figures, but I've smelled a lot of stuff, and it's not that often that I actually think, wow, I love that, I really love that. Of course, sometimes I think, wow, I really love that. I love the artistic direction of that. I love the sense of the quality of the materials. I love the concept, I love the packaging. It's not for me though. That happens a bit more often. So I'd say there's a lot of quality niche out there, but you have to take that. Just because it's priced at £200 a bottle doesn't mean that there's any better ingredients in that bottle than if it was priced at £50 a bottle. It just depends on the brand, the ethos of the brand, how much money they spent on the packaging, how much they spent on the perfumer, and all the other stuff, the marketing. I'm going to give you an example, and don't hate me. It's just I've decided to pick Jeremy Fragrance's The Office as an example because he specifically said there's a niche quality or a niche twist to his fragrance. And I've smelt Office for Men now a few times. I've worn it myself, and I don't understand what he was getting at because it doesn't smell niche. It smells mass market, and it doesn't smell like high quality ingredients. It smells like a crowd pleasing mass market fragrance that if you bought it in Zara for £15-20 you'd be quite happy with, but a niche price has been applied. The presentation is not niche. It's not like a Roger Duff it's not like a Roger Dove with amazing crystals and all sorts. It's not got any extra, it's not got any gold on it. It's a very bland and plain bottle, so the money's not gone on the packaging either. So the term niche quality or niche twist there, what does that mean? Where's it come from? And then you can take a more established brand, and I mean no hate towards any of these brands, by the way, and if you love them and you buy them and you enjoy them, then that's fantastic. Then that means you're getting your money's worth, and it's great, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you take a brand like Xerjoff, and there's a few by Xerjoff that I really love. For example, let's take Naxos. Naxos is very well loved in amongst the fragrance community. Myself, I fell in love with it at first sniff, and I had a bottle, and what I did was I wore it a few times, loved it, and then very quickly got bored of it because it's really linear. So Naxos is very thick. When you spray it on your skin, it's very thick and oily, and it lasts really, really well, and it smells beautiful. It's a honey tobacco with some citruses giving it a lift. I think some white florals. It's exceptional in how it smells on your skin, but it doesn't change. It has no scent development really at all, or maybe a slight scent. I mean, whenever you first spray something, it's always going to change a little bit, but after that you don't get much scent development, and I started to find it annoying. It was really annoying to my nose, almost cloying. It is quite sweet, but it would have been fine if there was some development. There was no development, so I ended up getting rid of what I had left of my bottle. And it's the one fragrance that I see on the fragrance groups. I'm in a lot of UK sale and swap groups, and it's the one fragrance that people buy and sell so much. They buy it, they sell it on, and the bottle will go around the groups, because I think the same thing happens to other people in that they love it to start with, but then they realise that it bores them and it doesn't do much. And so is that a quality fragrance? I'd say Naxos is quality in that it smells fantastic and it lasts really long, but it doesn't have any scent development. I guess what I'm saying is, how do you even decide what is quality? I mean, I'm not structured here at all, so I am kind of just going off on different tangents. But it's not for me to decide what's quality, because I'm not a chemist. I can't identify what the ingredients are in a fragrance. All I know is how I discern what I want from a fragrance. And one big factor for me is I want development, and I don't really like fragrances that sit on my skin in a big oily gloop. That's just my preference, because the problem is I have this association, rightly or wrongly, with the clone houses. Almost all the clone houses will sit on your skin in a big gloop of oil. And so because of that, if an expensive fragrance does that, I can't help but associate that with a clone house. It makes me wonder if they've had to use a massive concentration of cheap ingredients to get the fragrance to last. I am just thinking out loud here. That's how I think. Could be wrong. So to me, when a fragrance is sitting on my skin in a big gloop of oil, I can't help it. I don't think it's quality. So that's just that. So how do we discern quality? I honestly don't think, unless you are qualified in some way, or perhaps you're a perfumer yourself, you're a chemist, then how do you sit there and say that's bad quality and that's good quality? Well, of course you can't really, but you can certainly smell. You can smell the development of a perfume, and you can see how it goes from this part of the fragrance to this part. Is it a smooth journey, or does it kind of jump from being very fresh to suddenly being very heavy? Or you can sort of pick out some of the notes that you're familiar with, that you feel might be a bit cheap or lazy. So for me, another thing that annoys me in fragrances, and a lot of niche do this, expensive niche fragrances rely massively heavily on ISOE Super. Now, I know most fragrances have ISOE Super in them to some degree, but they don't always. The ISOE Super doesn't always identify itself to your nose. It's just used as a blender and a fixative. And I enjoy the smell of ISOE Super. I've got Eccentric Molecules 01. However, I have experienced some niche perfumes where all the top notes were quite pleasant, very nice, and then very quickly it became mostly a chalky, icy super style base. And to me, that feels quite lazy and unfinished and not very well thought out. I feel like not much time has been spent creating a fragrance that just rolls down to iso super. That's again my opinion, and you may have a completely different opinion on that, but to me, in my head, I don't equate quality with that. So I think what I'm trying to say is I'm not here to tell you or anyone else what is quality and what is not. But I think we all have our own, what do you call it? Barometer? I can't find the right word. But we all know what we like and what we enjoy in fragrances. And I think that we tend to put what we like and what we enjoy as our, as how we see quality. So for me, the things that I see is well blended, it's very smooth, it has development, it doesn't just stick all in, it doesn't just smell the same all the way through, it's not overly heavily sweet, it's not too thick and cloying, and yet it doesn't sit on your skin in a big gloopy oil slick. So that's how I decide in my head whether I see it as quality or not. But when people say, oh, it's niche, I mean, I think what we're sold sometimes is this is niche, therefore it's worth the price. I think that's bullshit, and I'm sure most of you already see it that way anyway. But when I first got into my niche journey, and I didn't buy Roger Doves and Creeds, I was more into indies pretty much straight away. The fair priced indies, so 4160 Tuesdays was one of the very first houses I got into, and they create perfumes at a very affordable price, similar-ish to designers, depends, some would actually work out cheaper than buying a designer and others are a little bit more expensive, but the perfume is very transparent about the materials that she uses and why the pricing is as it is. And she specifically wants to reach as many people as possible. So that's why her pricing is affordable. And when I first got into niche, I was easily distracted by all the different brands. The Xerjovs, the Roger Doves, all of those things really caught my attention. And I thought, wow, they must be amazing because look how much they cost and look at the presentation. And actually, when I got round to sort of sniffing Roger Doves in Harrods, I've never found a Roger Dove that spoke to me. That's not to say I think they're poor quality, but there is a house that is churning out a lot of fragrances very quickly. So you have to wonder, A, is it one perfumer behind it, or is Roger more of a creative director? There's a little bit of smoke and mirrors going on in that arena, and I love Roger Dove. I think he's a great character. I love his outfits. It just looks like he should be sat in a smoking room with a big cigar and books around him. He's a great character, but his fragrances don't speak to me, and they are extremely expensive, and I've tried a lot of them, and I'm not saying, as I said earlier, I'm not saying they're bad quality, but there's nothing that grabs me. There's nothing there that's my taste that I've tried so far. So I guess what I'm trying to say is do your own homework, do your own sniffing. Don't just take anyone else's opinions on board. Understand what you like. If you are a newbie into the whole fragrance world, the whole niche world, then don't be fooled by the posh packaging. You're not necessarily getting anything better than if you bought either a designer fragrance or a fragrance from a much cheaper house. I guess again what I'm saying is find your own way, do your experimenting, and don't be told by anyone that something's good or bad. Just try it yourself, wear it, see if you love it, and if you love it, then go for it. If you don't buy it just because everyone else says it's good. Wear what you love, wear what you like. I think that's going to be the theme of pretty much all these videos actually. Just, yeah, wear what you love. So I think that's really all I have to say on the matter. Please do comment. Let me know what you think on the subject. Let me know, what brands do you think actually equate to quality from the niche and the indie realms? What brands do you think are really excellent value and great quality? Would be really great to know. So I'm just going to end on my scent of the night is going to be, so it's a night shift again for me today. I'm wearing, it's from a decant, so it's not very pretty to look at. This is Papillon Perfumery's Anubis. So yesterday I reviewed Angelique by Papillon, and I felt the need to wear another Papillon Perfumery fragrance today. So this is a very strong fragrance, so I'm not going to wear too much. Just the 3 sprays up here, and I might do 1 wrist. But actually, I'm saving a wrist because I'm going to be reviewing Poison Girl Eau de Toilette. So Dior's Poison Girl Eau de Toilette. I'm refusing to wear it. So there's a clue there. I'm refusing to wear it. I've already tried it on my skin loads of times. I've come up with my conclusions already. But I'm gonna just do a spray here, or I'll do a few sprays because, you know, but I'll be reviewing that one today, so I'll be just seeing how that goes on my skin. It won't be as in-depth a review as normal because I'm not wearing it fully, but that's because it's too sweet and screechy for me to be able to tolerate wearing. Anubis, on the other hand, is not screechy and not that sweet, although it does have some sweetness. There's leather and jasmine and resins and incense, and it's absolutely bloody gorgeous. So Anubis is fantastic. Poison Girl Eau de Toilette, probably okay if you're 12 and you feel like you need a sweet snack. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.